You know, the good Lord's been good to the Cox family.
Yeah.
Amen.
And they have blessed us with so many things and so many events, from the White House lawn to Super Bowls to the Pope in Canada with 800,000 people to the Indianapolis 500 Derby. We do them all. And we could do more if we had you. But the problem is, you know, Scott and I was talking last night. We've employed so many people. And this last summer, a little boy came riding up on a bicycle in front of our office, and he come running in the office, and he says, "My grandma, great grandma, told me to come see Mr. Cox, and he'd give me a job." He was 14, and sure enough, I hired him, and he worked in this fair. And every time he buys something new, he brings it in and shows it to me and so forth. He's 14, but his great grandmother worked for us for years. His mother, his grandmother, the whole family. And it's amazing how many great-grandchildren are working for us today that parents started way back. And we contribute that to the fact, basically, of all the people we've hired, Scott and I were talking last night, of the thousands that we've hired, and Patty might know more than I do, you were the cream of the crop. You were the cream of the crop. Agree, Patty? You were the best we ever had. And I am so honored and blessed and feel thankful to God that today you're still friends, you're still around, and I'm serious, if we could hire you back, Debbie, where's Debbie? Debbie, you'd be without a job. we would move Trump right on out of here. We wouldn't control the United States, we'd control the world. But it's really the ones I talked to last night, an honor to hear what you're doing, the success you're having, your families and so forth. And truthfully, I know I speak for the whole Cox family. We couldn't have done it without you. We're thankful. I do hope that you will drop Jack Hanna a note. He was very gracious to us. He's sorry he couldn't be here, but his whole family was coming from England and they're out in Montana. But he did send a video, which you all got a copy of. But just send him a card at Tacoma Zoo. He still gets his mail there. And thank him for the opportunities he gave all of us, because he gave us the opportunity too. And I don't know, I don't want to get a story of how we got started at the zoo, but thankfully we left there with you people, and just appreciate every single one of you. And God bless you all, and wish you nothing but luck. And you are the cream of the crop.
Thanks,
Thank you.
I'll keep you. Right on.
As you wish.
Yeah.
You know, real quick, I will first. And some of you. The way we got to zoo and the way you all got your jobs and the way we got ours was when Jack first got hired, it was in the newspaper that the hardest young guy from Knoxville, Tennessee to run the Columbus Zoo. And he tells a story, still tells it this day, as you've heard many times, that when he flew in here to come and interview for the Columbus Zoo, he told the taxi driver at the airport, "I want to go to the Columbus Zoo." The taxi driver said, "We don't have a zoo." Jack said, "Don't have a zoo? I come up here for a job." "No, we don't have a zoo." Well, finally they got Jack to zoo. So he was there about 3 weeks. We didn't start when he started. We started shortly after that. But one day I said to Patty, I said, "Let's drive up to the zoo. We've not been to the zoo. I've been reading about it. They got a new director. Let's take the kids and go to the zoo." And this guy, he'd been there maybe a month. So we go up to the zoo. Patty remembers. We're walking through the zoo, and here sits this young guy on that curb right there with a circle across, sitting there on the curb with his $2, and they were selling lemonade. And I walked up just to be nice to him and shake his hand, welcome to Columbus, and he said, "What do you do?" You know, Jack, he's never been to work. "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm in the food business." "What are you doing in the food business?" "I sell food." "You sell food? You mean you sell food like here?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got to come see me." He said, "I'm looking for you." "Man, just like you." I said, "Why?" He says, "I got rid of the food people in here. They were dirty, they were filthy, they weren't comfortable. I need to talk to you. Come see me next week." I drove up to see him next week and had the business before the day was over with.
Yeah, man.
That started us, and then here you all come, and
Wow.
this is the beginning.
Wow. I never heard that story.
But that's how we got started in Tacoma City.
Never heard
And
all
then
those years. Never heard that
when
story.
we, all through while we were there and all the improvements and everything, Garth become like Jack's son. He was always getting Jack in trouble.
Of course he did.
The funniest thing.
know what the video was about you. We never saw you work up there.
The
Did
funny-
you ever see Garth work?
Never. I occasionally saw him work.
The funniest
I
thing
did.
was
I
On the road.
Did he pay you?
Jack had a party at his house, and he got Galen and Tim Burke. Was that Galen's big buddy?
Garth.
Huh?
Garth.
I said, what did I say, Galen?
Tim.
Oh, I know him apart.
He's bigger.
Anyway, he had Garth and Tim Burke go pick up this piano, nice piano, to bring to his party. Well, these two guys weren't very smart, you know, they played football. And, so they put the piano in the back of the truck, and they're coming over there and they dump the piano out on the curb, on the sidewalk. That was him. And then Tim Burke one night, another party they were getting ready for, Tim and him had set the party all up, and so Mrs. Anna said, I gotta go get dressed. Tim, will you get the ices down the hallway to the left there in the garage? She went off to the bedroom. Tim, supposedly accidentally, I don't know about that, he goes down instead of going left, he goes right. So open the door and there's Susan standing there stark naked. But anyway,
The problem with that is my friend Tim is OCD, and he's about 6'5", about 280, and he stands there and she's there naked, and he's like, Mrs. Hannah, I'm sorry, and she's like, Timmy, just back out. But he wants to explain that he's OCD. But the thing that's worse about it is once a year, my wife is involved real big with St. Jude, and Jack helps host the St. Jude event every year at the zoo. And he tells that story every year to Susan Chagrin. He just tells it every year to 500 people about his wife being found naked by a teenager.
now, those tales are nothing like you people could tell.
We have no stories. No stories.
We all have a couple. We ain't telling them though.
Zufari, I'd like to hear a few about the
No.
Zufari.
No. We share them amongst ourselves. We're not doing them out
I
loud.
I have to tell you, last night, I never saw a group of kids get together, and 40 years never came between them.
Yeah.
I was so proud of them last night to listen to them talk.
Well, anyway, Jack, when we were doing that, he was talking about the Wyandotte Lake Park and said, one of these days we're going to buy that. And he kept telling me that. So one day, his secretary called over and says, Mr. Cox, Jack, I see you in his office. I went over there, not knowing what one of you had done.
That never happened anytime.
Just been there. So I walk in, he's got this big ring of keys. I mean, it's a big ring. Hand them to me, he says, here, those are the keys to the park over there. He said, we just bought it. You go there and see what you do with it. I said, Jack, I never ran a ride in my life. I don't know anything about rides. I don't care about the rides. He said, just go over there and make a family picnic area out of it. Clean it up, make it nice, make it safe. Just see what you can do with it. And that started us at the zoo. And then come along people like Jill, these people, some of you that helped us at the park. Well, same thing happened when he got ready to get rid of it. I knew they were trying to sell it. Called me over there one day and he says, Charlie, you want to keep that park? I said, I don't know why. He said, well, you get $3.5 million. I said, nope. He said, well, we sold it to this outfit for $3.5 million that the rights to put a water park in. I said, good luck to them. But seriously, we owe all of our success, we owe everything we've been in business, 64 years. That's older than most of you are alive, except Terry. Terry's 65.
She's right behind you. Be careful.
But anyway,
Turn 60, Charlie.
we've enjoyed for 64 years, and we're thankful to God that He's given us the opportunities. And He's given us young people and old people like you folks. And we thank you very much from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you.
Speak for
Charlie, you
Cox.
have done more for those of us who stand here beside you, in front of you, and behind you than I think that you will ever know. So we all, the reason we're all here is literally to pay tribute to your family. If it wasn't for you, Patty, all the kids, I mean, I have more memories of being around you guys than I have not being around you guys, and that's why I'm still
And the things we
here.
learned.
Yes.
Gosh.
I always contribute the success of my businesses to all of you.
Jody and I want the "it is as you
wish
wish"
have
speech
to.
before dinner.
yeah.
Every time.
And
No,
then we
please.
yes, we have to
Oh,
have the
Charlie, please.
Oh, look.
They
Got
didn't
it
get
now.
to hear it like I did a
Yeah.
month
Jody
ago.
hear it last
it is as you
But they
wish.
didn't get to. Everybody loved it so much.
Some of us haven't heard it in a lot of years.
That inspired
goes
all
A lot of
us.
years.
It is as you wish.
Come on, Charlie.
Come on, Charlie.
Well,
Twist his arm too hard.
it could apply to so many of you because as younger people, you looked out at you in meetings and employee meetings and so forth, and you really wonder what you could say to people like that were so smart, so young, and so aggressive. What could you say to them that would make them think? So I had this story about this little town, little crossroads out in the country, and just a crossroads. There's a young old man lived out there, and he lived outside of town, and he was known as a prophet. He could predict the future. He knew what was going to happen in the future. And the townspeople all knew this because they knew old John could predict the future, and he's a wise old man, and they respected him. But one day, this young person come, like all of you were at one time, and you knew it all, and you had all the answers, and you made fun of this old man. So this young whippersnapper, guy like Scott, he said, that old man can't predict the future. He said, that old man's just a fool. He's just an old man. He don't know anything. And the townspeople listened, you know. He's a college graduate. He's pretty smart. Talking about Scott. So one day, the young man said to the townspeople, said, come on, I'm just going to prove to you that old man living out there in the country is just a dummy. He's a fool. He can't predict the future. He don't know what's going to happen. Well, the townspeople, you know, they didn't know what to think. But sure enough, they walk out the dusty dirt road out to where the old man had this log cabin. They get out there, and the old man sitting on the front porch of his rocket chair, just rocking away. So the young man, making fun of him all the way out there, how he's going to make a fool out of that old man. As he walked along, he grabbed the baby bird out of a bush. Grabbed that bird. And the townspeople said, what are you going to do with that bird? He said, I'm going to make a fool out of that old man. You see this bird? I'm going to ask the old man, is he dead or alive? If the old man says he's dead, I'm going to open my hand, he'll fly away. If the old man says he's alive, I'll crush him and drop him to dirt. The old man can't predict that. He's just a dumb old man. So they get out there, and the old man's rocking on the front porch, and rocking on the front porch. The young guy, you know, everybody's listening. He says to the old man, you old fool. You're so smart. Tell me, what I have here? Old man, you got a baby bird. Oh, you're so smart, old man. You are really smart, the young man said to him. Tell me, though, if you're so smart and can predict the future, is the bird dead or alive? And the old man just rocked away, rocked away. He finally said, young man, it's just as you wish. It's just as you wish. And that's what I tell all you. You can do anything you want to do. It's just as you wish.
Very good.
That's all right.
But we've enjoyed it. Thank you all for coming today. And Patty, anything else you want to add? Debbie?
No, I just
Galen,
want
Bart?
to thank everybody for coming. So, I enjoyed it
Terry?
so much.
Terry? Where'd Terry go?
I'm right here.
You'll tell about the time you was a hero and caught that guy underneath the desk?
The burglar. Remember the burglar?
I do.
In the zoo.
I've heard it many
Pounded his head on that tabletop.
He had no idea who he was messing with.
Let's say prayers. Some people are hungry.
Dad, you want to say prayers?
You say.
I still want to see Eileen over and kiss my behind because there's children here. Where's Eileen?
Eileen.
Where'd she go?
She's eating.
She's the one that's
Oh, she's the one who's eating. She was one of my favorite.
You gonna say prayer, Dad?
Yeah, I will.
Kiss my butt.
I'm gonna say prayer.
Prayer time.
To the religion of your choice, we thank you, God, for giving us this beautiful day and giving us this opportunity to celebrate this day with such wonderful, wonderful people. We have been so blessed that you have blessed us with their knowledge and their being associated with us.
We thank you. We ask that you bless them. We ask you to bless them in their businesses and the work they do. Bless their families. And God, we just can't say enough for this group of people and the opportunities you gave us and the success that they bestowed upon us. These things we pray. We pray that you watch over their families who are not with us, and we pray that you watch over everybody here and the future and the friends for years to come. These things we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Time to eat,
Hey,
folks.
wait, one thing. Can we do like a big group photo before everybody eats?